Peace and good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your foul player. I want to make this video regarding a story of something that happened to me. Because I was making a finance video and I was saying about all the times that I used to go out, like from pretty much like 1997 to fucking 2010. I still go out here and there, like, but the clubs are. I actually went out the last weekend before shit locked down. I went to this club called Elsewhere in Brooklyn. And I just came back from Cali that day. And I went out in Cali a bunch too. I went to the club Elsewhere in Brooklyn. Shit got locked down right after that. And I got sick as a motherfucker. Like I must have lost like 40 pounds in like a weekend. Thrown up. Fucking disgusting. But anyway, wanted to say the story about the time that I got roofied. Like, where if you don't know, like roofie is like when somebody like puts something in your drink to knock you out, and the shit happened to me, like legit. A little backstory though, like as far as like me personally, like, I used to go out like 7 days a week, like to clubs, strip clubs, bars. And I don't even like strip clubs. I fucking hate strip clubs. Stupid. It's a waste of time. It's hard to talk to girls there. And I've bagged like strippers, but it's not my thing. Like it's just a waste of money. Like a lot of them girls are fucking scrotes. But the only reason I would go is because the clubs were closed on those days, like Tuesdays and shit like that. But enough of that though. Like one thing is that I used to drink a lot. Like when I was going out, like we would kill a bottle of Hennessy before we got to the club. Sometimes we would kill a bottle of Hennessy driving to the club. Like 3 or 4 people. Like a pint of Hennessy. Like I had season tickets to the Mets, and we would kill a pint of Hennessy on the way to the game. Me and one other person. And then buy another one like when we like on the way, like before we even got to the stadium. I can't even drink like 4 shots of Hennessy without feeling drunk now. But anyway, this just to say that I like back then especially I didn't get drunk that easy. Like so it wasn't like me being overly drunk or anything like that. Like it was legit like roofie. But there was one day I was hanging out with a friend of mine and his brother. And his mom called him out of nowhere. And she asked him to give her a ride to the airport. And I don't know why, but I went along. But we were already drinking, like, and in the car, mind you. And we went, drove to the airport real quick, came back. So we were in my neighborhood when we got back. We were on 56th Street and 5th Avenue, exactly. And there was like a Subway restaurant there, like the chain. But I remember we were driving on a two-way street, like in the busy area of my neighborhood, 5th Avenue. And somebody, as we were going straight, somebody cut in front of us, like with their car. And he made a left turn like an idiot. My friend fucking crashed right into him. So, my friend was a little bit lit, but he wasn't like that. Like, it's like 7 o'clock in the evening. Like, we weren't even nice yet. But the guy, like, fucking, my friend ended up breaking his window, pulling him out the car and beating the shit out of him. But, I remember I went and got my friend a sandwich from Subway, just in case, like, if they gave him a breathalyzer. And, it was all good. Like, my friend's car was all fucked up. My friend beat the shit out the dude. And, cops came, like, he didn't get a DUI. Like, fucking, the guy didn't press charges either. But, and my friend, somebody else in the car knew, like, actually knew where they, like, didn't know the guy like that, but he knew the guy, like, from passing. So I think maybe he got shook off of, trying anything. I don't know. But anyway, afterwards, I ended up linking up with another friend of mine. I went to this place called Mark's Lounge. I linked up with two friends of mine, actually, two different people, and went to this club called Mark's Lounge in Park Slope in Brooklyn. So I went there, and the club, like when you walked in, everything was on the second floor. It was like a restaurant or some shit underneath, and then it was a different business on the second floor. And the second floor was the like the lounge. So I remember I went there, and somebody from my old neighborhood, not from my old neighborhood, from my old block. I used to live on a block called 40th Street and 8th Avenue, and that block was like when I lived there. It's not that bad now, but like when I lived there, it was like the worst block. There were like two major like drug enterprises going on from there. One of them, the guy's like in jail for life now. It was him and his twin brother. Shout out to Gilbert Armando. Um, but the one dude from that, everybody from that block is in jail for life now. Shout out to Prep Angelo, the White Boy twins, Gilbert Armando, Sassy. Rest in peace, Frey. Fucking who else? Wendy, Fritz. Fucking trying to think who else was from that block. But pretty much all these people that I'm mentioning are in jail for life, locked up. But I ended up bumping into the one guy that is not in jail from that whole little group, and he and this dude was like the worst. He was one of the worst ones. He looked like evil too. Like his fucking like eyebrows like were like pointed like like that. I'll say his name. I don't give a fuck. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say it. He's still free, I think. But I remember, and I was a kid like when I lived in that block. I moved out of that block when I was like 13. But that guy that I'm mentioning, I saw him break somebody's fingers one time. Like somebody owed him money. I used to always look out the windows. You see like shootouts and all this shit all the time on that block. But somebody owed that guy money, and I was looking out the window, and he like there was like a burnt car on my block, like abandoned. He made the guy put his fingers on the fucking trunk, and he fucking broke his fingers on in the car. But I ran into him. I was like, yo, what up? Like fucking I was like, yo, I remember you from 40th. Like that they used to call them like selves Kill 'Em All, like the little crew from that block. I was like, yo, I remember you from the Kill 'Em All crew. I was like, yo, what happened to all these dudes? I was like, yo, they like because I knew like the two twins that used to like have one of the main spots in that block. Like they killed somebody, um and it was like a big story on the news because they actually knew the dude. And like one of the dude that they killed, like they were like one of them was like fucking the dude's wife. But I asked about everybody else. He was like, dead, jail for life. So I was like, yo, let me get yo, next shot's on me. I was like, yo, what are you drinking? So he was drinking Hennessy. So I gave him I bought him a shot, and I we drank it together. I was Gucci. Mind you, I was a little bit lit already too by that time. But I was just talking to him regular. And I was, I had like a chain and all this shit. But I was talking to him for a minute, and everybody else who I was with, they were probably like, busy talking to hoes or whatever. And like, so it looked like I was alone probably. I remember I ordered another shot, and I ordered him one. And I don't like, linger around like fucking, once I get my shit, if it's a shot, I usually drink it off the rip. So I remember I had my next shot, and the guy that I was talking to, he was there alone. So I remember I had the next shot out of nowhere, like fucking like the whole like place. If I'm like standing like this, the whole place looked like it was going like this. Like I was completely fucking ripped. Like if it didn't even feel like I was drunk. It felt like I tried to walk away from him, and like I remember like walking like towards like where like the DJ booth was, and I fell and busted my ass, and like my people were like, yo, like fucking, yo, Joe, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I could barely even talk. Like fucking I was fucking ripped. And I do remember like like ripping open my shirt like fucking and it wasn't it you know it was probably like it wasn't hot. It was like October. It wasn't. Um and I had like a chain on. I ripped that shit off. I didn't even like take it off. I like literally like ripped the shit off and like this was no like small chain and put it in my pocket because I was like somebody just in case. But I was like yo like take I like muttered out like for my friends to take me home and I remember um like at that time I lived on the third floor of my building and I fucking and another thing my friends were they were like yo like let's get him something to eat and we drove to like a McDonald's drive through and I threw up outside of my friend's car like and it didn't even like I stuck my head out the window pretty much and it got all on the side of his car. The following day I cleaned it and the following day I actually went out to a club. That's how fucking stupid I was. So like before like we went out to the club I fucking I cleaned my own throw up off of my friend Toofy's car. But um when they dropped me off at home at I don't even remember being dropped off. I remember like fucking eating and knocking out and I fucking had to like I literally like climbed up like my mom like the stairs to get to my apartment and like I wasn't climbing up like a fucking dog like fast. I was like dragging my way up these fucking stairs, and it was like I barely fucking remember anything that happened after that. Like fucking don't remember going to the McDonald's. I do remember throwing up because people were laughing like when I stuck my head out the window to throw up. But besides that, I don't think the motherfucker that I was talking to gave it to me because I was like kind of like facing him. But I think on the second shot, like since I was talking to him, like I probably like, you know, wasn't paying attention to the bartender or whoever I was with, and maybe the people that were like standing behind me, like probably thought that they could knock me out and get my chain off of me and my cash. I wasn't like I did have a lot of cash on me, but I wasn't like flashing or anything. But yeah, that's my roofie story. Like fucking and I know a lot of people do that shit to like women and like take advantage of them. Like fucking you know, maybe in the past I used to wonder how like the fuck that would work because how could you sleep through getting like fucked if you're abroad, but me with my strong continence and my ability to really really drink, especially back in the day, um if it happened to me, I mean I could imagine some 120 pound like girl on a summer day like fucking already drunk getting that shit like if I had to drag my ass upstairs like fucking then God forbid like it happens to some young chick like um you know somebody could fucking really violate the using shit like that. But let me know what you guys think. With that, I'm out. Don't do roofies.